everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Our Leaders, Our Inspiration. So for today's episode, I'm very happy and very honored because here with me today is the Mr. Ambassador of Turkey to Indonesia, Mr. Talip. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, welcome to the Embassy of Turkey in Jakarta. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much also for your time. Super honored, super happy to be here. So I really want to ask you questions about Turkey, sir, because I've never been there myself, but I really want to go there someday. May I ask about how the Turkish education works?
Right. Well, in fact, in Turkey, both public and private institutions provide education. It is compulsory. For 12 years. All Turkish nationals must go to school, and this is an important policy of our country. Almost 100% of students and children have access to education in Turkey because it is promoted by the state, it is supported by the state, it is encouraged by the state, because what we see is that education is the key for success. Education is also key for the development of a country. Especially in countries like Turkey and Indonesia, we have a lot of capacity, we have got a lot of potentials, but also we need to have good and well-educated human resources, human capital. Without a good educated human capital, it is not easy to develop economically and technologically. That's why in Turkey, education is a very important topic, and parents as well as public institutions really place a huge importance on the idea of education.
I see, sir. So after I've done my research, I also saw that I think the 12 years that you mentioned is the 4+4+4 systems. So what age does the children usually start school?
Children go to school at the age of 6 or 7, and then they need to stay in the system for 12 more years. Then afterwards, of course, people can go to some vocational schools or they can go to the universities. Also in Turkey, there is a lot of chance for the university education. Almost 80% of the population can have access to universities in Turkey.
Oh, I see. May I know how does the government also support the children's education?
Well, actually, in my country, public institutions provide free education. And even in rural areas, as well as in, of course, urban areas. In urban areas, it is easy to go to school because of the transportation facilities. But in the rural areas, sometimes, because of the demographic structures of the places, it may be not very easy for children to go to school. In such circumstances, the state provides bus services for all students, even if they are living in a very remote area. The bus service comes and picks the child in the morning, brings them to the school, and in the evening they bring them back to their home safely. That also encourages many parents to send their children to the school because they are looked after well by the state authorities.
Oh, so the government also provides support from transportation.
Right, that's right.
Oh, I see. And in Turkey, sir, is there any mandatory classes that the students have to take?
Well, first of all, of course, all these 12 years, they are mandatory. They have to take all the classes. And this is a national curriculum. And the national curriculum includes, of course, the language education, maths, geography, and all that. It is similar to many other countries. And of course, there are some options as well, like language courses, cultural courses. Students can have some options in order to develop their interests. Some music classes might be also optional, some physical training classes, because education aims to discover the skills and potentials of children.
So according to you, of course, education is very important, sir. I would also like to ask about maybe your educational background and how you worked your way until you finally became the ambassador from Turkey to Indonesia. So maybe you can share your story. Maybe were you a good student growing up?
Well, it's a long story. Now
Yes.
I am 60 years old. Now we are talking about my educational background starting at the age of 7.
7.
Long time, yes.
Yes.
I started a school in a rural area, in a village in Turkey, in a public school. It was, of course, provided by the state, but it was in a very small place. 2 years I have studied in that village. Later on, we moved to a town, a little bit bigger town, where I had my primary and secondary education. Then I started university in the western part of Turkey, in a city called Bursa, which is a very historical, very cultural city. And I really enjoyed my time there. I studied in the Faculty of Islamic Studies. This is my first degree, actually. The Islamic Studies was my first degree. And in all this time, I had all public school education, not private school. So it was funded by the state, it was sponsored by the state. And when I finished university, I wanted to become an academic. I wanted to stay at the university. I started master's degree in the same university. Later on, again, I got a scholarship from the Turkish Foundation to do my master's and PhD in UK. I went to Britain first. I did my master's degree in the School of Oriental and African Studies. Then I did my PhD at Warwick University in sociology.
Sociology,
right.
Yes.
Then I came back to Turkey when I finished my studies, because the future of a country depends on you, on the young generations.
Yes.
So you have to serve your country, because the whole my educational time, it was provided by the state, by my country, and I wanted to pay back to my country and my people.
So you never joined a private university?
No,
Public?
All public universities,
I see.
all public schools. That means if you are really serious about your education, if you are keen to learn, if you are disciplined, if you are a hard-working person, even within the state university system, state education system, you can become a successful person.
Yes.
All my brothers and sisters, for example, they come from the same background. We have gone through the same system, and they're all university graduates. They had always good jobs. Wow. Because what we have seen in our country, and also in my own life, I started in a small village, but I ended up at Warwick University as a PhD student and PhD graduate,
yes.
where I also worked as a postdoc fellow for 2 more years. And I think when I look at my background, I see that education has really changed my life, transformed my life fundamentally. If I did not have education, I would have remained in that small village, and my worldview would have been very limited. My experience, my knowledge would have been really, really very little. And of course, when you don't have this education, you don't know your potentials. You cannot fully realize your potentials. In Turkey, if you remain in one country only, of course, you can learn many things, but also you are in the same culture, you are in the same
yes.
linguistic environment, in the same tradition. But when you go outside of your country, you interact with others, you yes. learn, you really expand your horizons. And that's why I really encourage young people to pursue education wherever they are, whether they are in the rural places or in urban places, and never give up. Because if they give up education, if they stop their education, that means they give up on life. There will be no bright future for the young generations if they don't have a good education. I think my success story, if I am successful, of course, I don't know if I am successful, but professionally, of course. I mean, I started in a rural place, then I moved to a town, then I became a professor at the university. Now I am very proud that I am representing my country in Indonesia, so I take pride in this one. But I think when I look at what is behind all these stories, that it's a strong and good education that I have received.
Yes. Wow, and I think this is such a wonderful story that can inspire so many people. As you said, I think you were really concerned about education ever since you were a child. I think you really took the responsibility, even though you had to join public schools, but then you still fought hard, and of course, until now, you've reached your success. May I know what keeps you motivated to keep learning at a very young age?
But I think I have started reading when I was quite young.
Yes.
because
You love to read.
if you look at the background, you can see that I have a lot of interest in books. I think maybe by chance, maybe by luck, I would say. My close relatives, my uncles, they were really keen on reading, so I started getting books from them, because there was no bookshop in the rural places. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's no bookshop, that means you can only see books among the friends, among the families. So in my family, there were some others who were keen on reading. My uncles also were university graduates. I think that was something good for me. That's why I think if there is someone in the family who is successful going to university, that person can lead the others who are in the family. I think that the encouragement by parents, this is a very critical issue. You know, as a young person, as a young child, you may not maybe know the importance and significance of education, but if parents encourage you, if parents show you the right leadership and maybe guardianship, I think that will make a huge difference. In this respect, I was quite lucky, because although my parents were farmers, they were not educated in the school system, but they knew the importance of education. Actually, otherwise they knew that if we did not go to school, if we did not have good jobs, if we did not have professions, we were going to be stuck in the same environment.
Yes, I totally agree with you, sir, about it's very important to have the parents support the children to get education. I think, I'm not sure about in Turkey, but here in Indonesia, I think that's still a very big issue, that we still need to socialize how important education is for everyone, especially for a better future in our country. And now you've been here in Indonesia for 10 months.
I have been here for 10 months, 11 months almost. And since we came here, of course, with my family, I have been enjoying Jakarta, and also I have been enjoying the food and the culture here. What I have found actually when I came here, from the day first, I felt at home. I never felt that I came to a foreign country. Because of the cultural proximity between the people of Turkey and people of Indonesia. I found myself here as someone who is welcomed by the local people. Since I came here, actually, I have been trying to be active, trying to contact some universities here, and some, of course, public institutions. Our aim and objective is, of course, to improve the relations between Turkey and Indonesia.
Yes.
That is the main task that we have been given.
So I guess there are a lot of similarities between Indonesia and Turkey, sir?
Of course, there are similarities and, of course, differences,
yes.
Naturally, because we are talking about two nations,
yes.
two countries, and one of them is near Europe, one of them is in the Southeast Asia, of course. One is with a population of almost 300 million almost,
yes.
with a lot of ethnicities, cultures, and languages. In our country, of course, we are less. It's about 85 million population, right? But it is a bridge between Europe and Asia. If you just imagine the place of Turkey and especially Istanbul in your mind, it is really geographically bridging two different civilizations.
Yeah.
Of course, when we look at culturally, there is a historical link between Indonesia and Turkey. In the 1500s, when Aceh Sultanate was occupied by the Portuguese, they asked for help from the Ottoman Empire. That was the Turkic and Muslim empire at the time. Before the establishment of modern Turkey, we had Ottoman Empire.
Yes.
And the Ottoman emperor has sent some help to the Sultan of Aceh. That is the beginning of our historical relations, actually.
Oh, I'm so glad that you love it here in Indonesia and you feel like this is kind of like Turkey, so it's kind of your home. How about any difficulties? What are the difficulties of being an ambassador of Turkey to Indonesia?
Well, as I said, I mean, since I came here, I felt that I am at home.
Yes.
And wherever we go, wherever we want to have contact, we were always received very politely, very constructively. That's why I would say that I did not have much difficulty here in Indonesia, because I think we have got similar mindset, we have got similar objectives. As I said, the main objective is, of course, to increase the trade volume between Indonesia and
Yes.
Turkey, so that we can have strong relationship. And also culturally, we have a lot of students from Indonesia coming to Turkey. Today, almost 4,500 students from Indonesia are studying at Turkish universities, in different departments in Turkish universities. We see this also as a very important human link between Indonesia and Turkey, because they carry also cultural, I think, baggage with them. So that is an important asset for both countries. There's a lot of similarity between Turkish and Indonesian people, but there is a lot of difference in our culinary culture.
Oh.
Because in Indonesia you have got a lot of spicy food.
Oh yeah, we do.
In Turkey we have got also spicy food, but also many people in the especially western part of Turkey and in the northern part of Turkey, they don't use spice in their food. So this is one of the differences we have got. But overall, I would say Turkey and Indonesia have very friendly political relations. And also, since I came here, I have invited several Turkish universities to have links with the Indonesian universities, so that we can have student exchange. We can provide some of the expertise, we can share some of the expertise that we have in Turkey with Indonesia, so that Indonesian young generation can have also good education and also have some contacts with the Turkish young generations.
Wow, I think that's great. I'm really glad that I think Turkey and Indonesia have really good connection and good relationship. I hope that it will always be like that. How about for the people who want to go to Turkey someday, sir? Maybe you would like to recommend a
Well,
place
first of all,
or-
let me say something. You know, now we are living in a global world, okay?
Yes.
People are moving around, the ideas are moving all around, and the capital is all moving around. And also we have some other, of course, opportunities like social media. In the social media, people can see what's going on all in the world, so they can compare the world outside. But for Indonesians, when they want to go to Turkey, first of all, there is no visa. You don't have to apply for visa. This is something very important, because when you want to go some of the European countries, when you want to go to US and many other places,
We need the
you need to
visa.
get visa. You have to apply, you have to wait for a long time. That's why we made it easy for Indonesian friends. All Indonesians can come to Turkey free of visa. They don't need to get visa. And Turkey is a very safe country for men, for women, for single people, for old, for young people. Last year, in our country, we have hosted 55 million visitors in Turkey in 1 year.
Wow.
And that is quite a large number.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, sir, for all the information. Maybe as a closing, I would like you to maybe give, is there anything you want to say for the young generation?
Well, of course, I just would like to invite young generation to be persistent on their objectives. They should have high aims in their own life. They should aim high, okay? And also, they should never give up having education and training, because this is the key for the success in their life. It is through education, it is through developing our skills that we can climb the ladders of social development and social mobility. As I said in the beginning of our conversation, I started in a rural place in a public school, but I ended up at Warwick University, one of the top universities in the UK. Now I am representing Turkey in Indonesia as an ambassador, which is a very honorable job, actually. And I owe all these success, if I am successful, to a good education. Therefore, I strongly recommend the young generation of Indonesia to pursue education without interruption, without giving up. And of course, I also call on their parents to support their kids.
Wow, thank you so much, sir.
Thank
I think
you.
that's a very powerful message. Yes, as Mr. Talip said, that the key to success is through education, but of course, with persistence and hard work.
Exactly.
And I think your story can inspire so much young generation out there here in Indonesia who wants to become future leaders like you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. My last message is that Turkish Embassy is open to all Indonesians. Whenever they want to contact us, whenever they want to inquire about education in Turkey, universities in our country, or other opportunities and issues, they are most welcome to call us. They are most welcome to knock on our door. So we will be very happy to receive them here.
Wow, okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Thank you so much. It's been an honor for me, especially. I know that you're very busy, so I thank you for your time and thank you for sharing. I hope that your story can inspire so many people.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Our Leaders, Our Inspiration. I'll see you in the next episode.